Give yourself a little bit of credit. This has been something that's been on my mind a little bit lately this week. I had 3 networking events this week, so I'm kind of coming down on a Sunday, getting content scheduled and posted. And one of the biggest realizations and takeaways for me this week, as I kind of come down from the highs of a bunch of travel, low sleep, and just fatigue in general, kind of pushing it a little bit too hard. That's why I'm glad I have these weekends to kind of, sit back, get a fresh perspective, and really focus in on what I'm trying to do with the business and the podcast and all the content, and really sort of find my direction in terms of managing the client work versus the networking versus the growing the business and everything that goes into what we're doing. And the biggest takeaway that I can think of this week and what I wanted to share with you guys is just give yourself a little bit of credit. And what I mean by that is that after going to these events this week and having a lot of conversations, telling people about the podcast has been something that I've always done. And it's been a realization for me, like every single time I do this, and I tell someone that I've been running and managing a podcast for almost 2 years weekly by myself. And by no means say this to sort of inflate my own ego or to say that I'm superior or capable or anything. But what I realize is that, and I have these realizations about other people as well, is that these things that you just do in your daily life that you just take as commonplace, that are habits that you've ingrained, to you they seem like nothing, but to someone else, that can be one of the most impressive and admirable things that they'll take away from a conversation when they meet you. And I've met a ton of incredible people since founding MMG, since running marketing by design in the past several months and years. And just these small things where people don't give themselves credit for, they just take to be as part of their own personalities, have been one of the biggest, personal wins that I would see in someone else. And if those are the biggest things that I learned when I meet someone for the first time, is that they just don't give themselves enough credit for the things that are actually really exceptional about themselves. And I think that's one of the curses of being a high performer, and B, just a human in general. So as I record this kind of voice memo, I want to encourage all of you to just take a moment and think, like, what are the things that you're actually proud of? And wear that kind of like a badge of honor. Give yourself some credit in terms of what you're capable of, because odds are someone would find more than one thing about you truly admirable. And I think the lesson here is to double down on that thing. Think of how you can really get the most out of that asset, whether it's for growing your business, for growing your career, and yeah, just double down on that thing that you've been consistent with, because a lot of other people admire you for that thing. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be a quick little voice memo. I want to keep these aphorisms and things that I learned top of mind, and I want to share them with you all as well. Thank you guys for tuning in this week, and we'll see you next time.